What's going on, YouTube? As you can see, I have finally purchased a Vevor diesel Chinese heater. I've already got this thing set up, but when I took it out of the box, they thought of everything. All the fittings, hose clamps, brackets to mount the exhaust, intake. They even give you a small little muffler. So let's take a look at the heater now. This one actually runs off of a remote, and simply press the button to turn it on. It does take a couple minutes for it to fire up. So while that gets set up, I will show you that over here, it is about -4 Celsius or about 26 degrees Fahrenheit. Obviously you can see I have a wood stove in here. That's if I'm out here all day, the wood stove is great. But if I'm coming out here and I'm only going to be working on something for an hour, obviously starting a fire isn't practical. So right now it's on manual mode. You can see by the number 10, but by simply pressing the on button, it goes to thermostat. So it shows that it's 19.4 over here. Then we can bump that temperature up. Let's do 75. And we will check back in when this thing's fired up. Here you can hear the little pump. The pump is a little noisy, but it really doesn't bother me. I'm usually got power tools running or music going, something out here. This is just the ignition sequence that it runs. You can hear it's getting more and more intense. And then shortly you'll hear the actual burner kick in and fire up. Starting to give a little bit of warm air. While this fires up, I can show you the inside. This model is very nice. It actually comes with a bit of a fuel gauge. So that is awesome. There's a lot where you don't get to see the fuel tank. And it's very simple to open. There's 4 of these little guys, and you simply unhook them. Now that I have the cover off, you can see, obviously this is the fuel tank. That's the fuel pump making the ticking noise. The fuel line goes all the way down underneath. And then this is the actual burner heater unit itself. So it's pretty simple. So it's pretty well running at a good heat right now. Very warm, toasty. If you're using this flex hose, I wouldn't recommend going much tighter of a 90 than this. It does get really hot. If you do want to do that, I would recommend going to like an actual HVAC ductwork. Just wouldn't want to have a fire hazard, that's all. So I'm gonna let this run. Show you roughly where the fuel is. And we will check back in an hour and see what the temperature is. Okay, here we are an hour later. Thermostat says 48.2 degrees. Just to show you, I did not use the wood stove. And to give you a couple rough ideas on the temperature, you're about 175, almost 80 degrees Celsius. Coming out the end. It's a good amount of heat coming out. And if we come here halfway through, so about 20 feet away in the sea can, there's the temperature there. We're about 1 degree Celsius or 32. So the only insulation on this sea can are a couple insulated tarps across the top and just hanging off the side, and obviously whatever snows on the roof. So this thing actually does put off some good heat. And it's honestly, if you're working out here, using your hands, doing whatever, it's night and day difference. So really, for something with no insulation, this thing puts off a good amount of heat. Just gonna shut it down for the video. Fuel consumption. Like, this thing can run on high for a good amount of time. If that's something somebody's interested to see how long you can get out of a tank of fuel, let me know. I can do a full test. Just let this thing run, see how long it lasts on one tank, on high, medium, low, whatever. So I'm really glad this thing works as well as it does, and for how simple and easy it is to set it up. I'm sure there's a bunch of different ways that people have it going, but for me the easiest was right here. Battery charger set on auto, so it's more or less a trickle charger. An old car battery, and it is hooked directly right up to it. It does have its own inline fuse that comes with the unit. Oh, I guess I shook it too hard. Oh, that's why. Turn that back on. There we go. I'm gonna have to get it properly wired, but for now, it'll totally work. Thanks for watching. Don't forget, like and subscribe. If you want some more information about these things, write it down in the comments.